This is a fun presentation. You know, we get serious up here sometimes, and well, a lot of the time we get serious because it's a serious, our health is serious. We have a problem in this country and we're trying to fix it, and sometimes we gotta dig our heels in and fight the good fight. But this presentation is a little bit different. It's very informative, don't get me wrong. They're always gonna be informative. But we'll have a little bit more fun with this one. It's a serious subject, but we're going to take a lighthearted approach to it. It's serious because if you think about this statement, how to live till you die. I mean, that says a lot. It says a lot more than you might think. Because a lot of us, there's a difference between a health span and a lifespan, okay? And you know, we're created to live the longest part of our life healthy, not sick. But what's happened due to the food, due to the drugs, due to the lifestyle changes, is now we're getting that part of our life towards the end is getting longer and longer and longer where we're not well. We're not active, we're not vital. We're in wheelchairs instead. We're in hospitals instead. We're in care homes instead. We're not vital, we're not living, we're surviving. So how do you change that? Well, it doesn't come in a bottle. Okay, it doesn't come in something you can buy. It's a lifestyle adaptation. And we talk about this just about every time. But now we're going to show you exactly how to live till you die. 7 habits. I like that number 7. And I got some great graphics up here today. You got the Magnificent Seven. You guys all remember that movie? Great movie. Of course, this is again Magic Mike's touch. He's got the touch up there, creating these great presentations. But 7 habits. I like that number 7 because it's a lucky number. And did anybody ever do numerology? I found out I'm a 7 in numerology, so I'm going to stick with it. 7 habits that will increase how you look, feel, and play. And that's what we want to do. We want to live, we want to have fun, we want to be vital, we want to enjoy life. Okay, habit number 1. Just like I said before, earlier today, it all starts with what you put in your mouth. It starts there and it ends there sometimes, but this is where it all starts. Simple habits that you can adapt immediately. Clean whole food, organic proteins, locally grown produce, Joe's Label Law. I'm going to go into these in more detail, don't worry. Cooking versus nuking, soy and the hormone connection, water and supplementation. These are the keys to nourishment. So let's take them one at a time. Over-processed, over-packaged. I call them food substitutes, not real food. Real food. What is real food? Close to its natural state as possible. What is that? Well, it should still look like a vegetable. It should still look like a fruit. Okay? If it was grown in the ground, on a tree, on a vine, okay? That's what you want to eat. You want to eat it in its natural state, as close to its natural state as possible. Not in a can. Little packaging is possible. An exception, okay? When we start talking about produce, a lot of times I feel that even that flash frozen vegetables are sometimes better for you than fresh, especially where we live, okay? Because how many months out of the year can we get fresh produce that's grown here? 3? Maybe? So in January, when you go to the supermarket and you get down the produce aisle and you see all those great vegetables and fruits, where are they coming from? Some maybe, if we're lucky, from California, Mexico, further south, who knows? Now, I'm not saying that that's necessarily bad, but what I'm saying is when we're talking about nutrient content, locally grown is sometimes better than organic. Why? More nutrients. Because from the time the vegetable is picked, the fruit is picked, by the time it's harvested, and that's when it stops, the nutrient content stops growing inside the fruit and the vegetable. So then, let's just say, for example, we'll take it easy. We'll say it's coming in January from California. So they're picking it, they're putting it on a truck, probably taking it to a warehouse. Then it gets onto another truck, and it drives across the country. Then it goes to another warehouse. Then that warehouse distributes it to the different supermarkets. Then it goes into the back in their produce department in the back. Then they bring it out and put it on the shelf. Then we get around to getting in there and buying it. Then after we buy it, we take it home. What do we do with it? Put it in the fridge. And when do we eat it? Days and weeks after it was picked, maybe longer. So every single day, the nutrient content depletes in that fruit or vegetable. So locally grown, where it doesn't have to travel halfway across the world to get to us, is going to have a higher nutrient content. Okay? So I'm not even talking about organic at this point when it comes to that, just nutrients. Protein is so important to be organic. More important than fruits and vegetables. More important. Why? You can wash the fruits and vegetables. You can take off the skins if that's where most of the pesticides are. You can't wash off what's injected into the animals. So it must be organic. Now, top of the line is grass-fed when it comes to beef and beef products. Top of the line, because that's its natural food. You'll get all the best nutrients. Second is organic. Third is certified hormone antibiotic free. Anything other than that, you don't put it in your cart. Don't buy it. Because there are times when you can't eat one of those three, isn't there? If you're at a restaurant, if you're at a wedding, if you're at a friend's home, wherever, the cafeteria where you work or at school, you can't get a guaranteed organic protein. So the times that you can choose, you must. And you must pay the difference. Pay the price for the organic protein. Is it too expensive? Is it too expensive, do you think, to buy? Anybody think organic's too expensive?
No, it's more expensive than the other.
Okay, it's more expensive than other foods, but is it too expensive to buy?
I don't know if you want to be healthy.
That's right. Because what's the cost of that mocha, frap, no whip, a skinny frappuccino thing you're buying at Starbucks? Very expensive, loaded with crap, loaded with chemicals and sugars, and you pay $5 for it. But you won't pay $5 for a dozen organic eggs. That's too much. Too much. I can get our regular eggs for $2. Is it that much difference? How much more is it? $3 difference? How many meals out of a dozen eggs? Normally? 6. 6 meals for $3. Is that too expensive? No. It's all in your perspective. Okay? And I tell people when they say I can't buy organic because it costs more than the other stuff, but not too much, but more, then I say, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. I'll buy organic food for you if we can go into your kitchen Open your pantry, your cabinets, your freezers, and your fridge, and we cannot find any food that's been in there over a couple of days. If we can find any food that hasn't been there for weeks, if we can find any food that's been in there for months that you haven't used yet, stuff that you have to clean out and throw away, if we can do that, I'll pay your organic grocery bill. No, you can't do that. That's wasted money. That's wasted money, not organic food. I like to single out the egg. You already heard me talk about it. I think it's nature's most perfect food. There's more nutrients in an egg than there is in any other type of protein. There's more essential fats. There is more of the fats that you don't get in other foods, like phosphatidylserine, phosphatidylcholine. These are fats for your brain, for your connective tissue, for your nervous system. It's loaded with B vitamins. It has zeaxanthin, which is what helps your eyes. Okay, and by the way, I'm not wearing, these are not glasses. These are screen glasses. Okay, they block out the blue light from this and my iPad and my phone that I look at all day long. Okay, so it protects against eye fatigue. But I haven't lost my sight. Just wanted to clarify that. But I do eat a lot of eggs, including the yolk. Oh, is she still here? No, I don't think so. I was talking with a lady back there today, and she said, "Oh, you told me to eat my eggs in coconut oil. I do that every day now." I said, "That's great." She goes, "Yeah, I get 2 egg whites." I said, "What? What's wrong with the yolk?" "Well, they say that who's they? They say the yolk is bad. The yolk is going to raise your cholesterol." Oh, God. No, it's going to restore it. I love that. No, it will not hurt you. And it just came out in print, the Dietary Guideline Association, just in January of this year. They completely did a reversal. Complete reversal. They said that dietary cholesterol does not affect serum cholesterol levels. We were wrong. They actually admitted they were wrong.
How many eggs a day?
As many as you want, 2, 3, I don't know. I eat 2 to 3 a day. Depends what I'm having with it. If I'm having nothing with it, I'll eat 3. A lot of times, my favorite breakfast is eggs and avocado. I eat eggs and avocado almost every day. Okay, eggs, perfect food. Now, let me ask you this question. And if you've been here before, well, you can still answer. Is the egg, well, where do you find the egg in the grocery store? Refrigerated. Dairy. Is it dairy? No. As long as it comes from a cow. Is it poultry? I don't know. It comes from a chicken. Is it poultry? You know it's a trick question, right? It's not. An egg is an egg. The egg is what nourishes the chicken. Okay? It's not the chicken. It has to be incubated to become a chicken. Okay? The egg itself, fresh out of the hen, and I know some places in Pittsburgh you can get them from pastured chickens, where they're free to eat insects and worms, their natural diet. Okay? But no, that's why even vegetarians like Dr. Hahnemann eats eggs. He buys the good, free-range, pastured eggs. I haven't convinced Dr. Weiner yet, but I'm working on him. Of course, I think if I could get him to eat my hot buttered eggs, he might change his mind. Okay, I'm going to move on because you're going to get a copy of this, and I don't want to run out of time because I got a lot to do here, and I can stay on eggs all day. Locally grown, we talked about that. Flash frozen, sometimes better. You got to cook them in very low heat, with a few exceptions. Potatoes, tomatoes, they must be cooked. Okay, you don't get any nutrients if you don't. Lycopene comes out of a tomato when it's cooked. See, there's the Italian connection right off the bat. The tomato sauce. And it's better cooked. Still on nourishment. Okay, here's Joe's label law. If there are more ingredients than food products on the label, don't eat it. It can't get any more simple, any simpler than that. You know, everybody says you got to read labels, you got to read labels, but then you start reading labels and you can't, most of it you can't even read, pronounce, loaded with stuff. Did you ever go look at these packaged sandwiches in the supermarket? Did you ever turn it over? Because you know they put the label always on the bottom. You know, they don't want you to see it. You turn that over and look at that label, I mean, all it is a turkey sandwich. Maybe it's turkey and cheese, but there's about 75 ingredients. Most of it's in the bread and the dressings, okay? But if there are more ingredients than food products, and you know what a food is, you can read it, you can pronounce it, don't eat it. And I love this. There's really only two things you can put in your mouth. Food, chemicals. There's nothing else. Is there? I challenge you. Tell me. If I'm wrong, tell me. Is there anything besides a food or a chemical that you can put in your mouth? There isn't. So remove the chemicals and increase the foods. Junk food. I don't like that term either. It's either junk or it's food. Soy is a big problem in this country for one reason. Soybeans are a good food. I want to say that right off the bat. A soybean is a good food. It's grown in the ground, it's nourishing, there's nutrients in it, especially if you eat it like an edamame, you know, edamame in the Asian restaurants. Excellent. Here's the problem. It's the most abundant, subsidized oil in use in packaged foods in this country. Soybean, corn, two biggest oils subsidized by the government. That's why they're so abundant, because they can be made so cheaply. It's in every packaged food you buy. Read your label. I'll give you an example. I love egg salad. Hard to make anymore because I don't eat commercial mayonnaise. It's all made with soybean oil. I'll tell you why that's bad in a minute. So I'm looking for the shelf, trying to find some kind of mayonnaise I can buy. I see one that says olive oil mayonnaise. I said, oh, good. Let me grab that. Turn it around. First ingredient, soybean oil. 10 ingredients down, olive oil. But they could put it on the front of the label, but it's in there. I did find a mayo made from grapeseed oil, and that has no soybean in it, so I can still make my egg salad. But what I'm trying to get across to you is read the labels because it's in everything. Why is that bad? Soy is a phytoestrogen. It will compete for receptor sites with all of the estrogen metabolites. And the bad estrogen metabolites are the ones that will win that battle because of the abundance of soy in our diet. Not soybeans, soybean oil. It's one of the worst things you can ingest, and it's in everything. It's causing a total disruption of the hormonal balance of our population. And I would love to be able to say just our adult population, but I can't. It's affecting the hormonal balance of our children that are obese and malnourished for the first time in the history of this country. That they are both obese and malnourished at the exact same time because of what they eat. Yes?
What about soy sauce?
Yeah, in moderation, yeah, no problem. It's not, there's no soy protein in that. Okay? Moderation. You know, you go to eat some sushi once in a while, you add one little soy sauce with some more, add the wasabi though, because that'll counter it. Okay, only in moderation. Yes?
What brand of mayonnaise did you
I can't remember the name brand, but it was made with grapeseed oil. And they have it in the, usually in the organic sections. Phytoestrogen, okay, so receptor sites are going haywire with this soybean oil onslaught that we have in this country. Read some labels, I assure you, you will be shocked. If it's in a bottle, a bag, a box, a can, a plastic wrapper, there's gonna be soybean oil in it. And by the way, while we're talking about wrappers, a friend of mine is a clinical nutritionist out in California who works with a lot of stars and models and all those kind of people. And he came up with this saying that I love. I mean, it's something you can't avoid it 100% of the time, but he said a wrapper, a plastic wrapper is nothing more than a coffin for a dead food. So wrap your mind and your eyes around that for a second. So go back to what I said earlier about whole food, right? That should be the majority of what you eat. Now, can you do that all the time? No, every once in a while you want to get a bag of peanuts. Every once in a while you want to get, something. Sure, moderation's the key, the 80-20 rule. Jamie calls it the 90-10 rule. He says 90% of the time do the right things right, 10% have fun. I like to have fun 20% of the time. Ah, who here still has a microwave? Throw it out. Throw out your microwave. Come on, somebody ask.
Why?
Because it does nothing but harm to your food. It radiates it. It changes the molecular structure down to the water. And it destroys each and every nutrient in the food. You will eat it. You will be eating a dead food if you cook it in the microwave. How many of you remember when they first came out? Remember? You remember the warning label on the front. What did it say? What did it say? Who knows? Come on.
Don't put your head in there.
No, not that. It said, don't stand in front of it while it's on because it may leak radiation. Oh, but it's okay to eat what you put inside it. Stunad. Throw it out. Unless, and I've heard people say, I only heat my water for my tea. Bad. Because there's only one use for a microwave. What is that one use? Anybody know? Kill weeds. Kill weeds. If you got weeds, put the water in the microwave for about 60 seconds, go water the weeds. Trust me, you will kill them. Throw out your microwave. Is there anything you can do in a microwave you can't do in an oven with a little bit more time? No. Now, what did we do before? How'd you thaw out your meat? Oh, that's a good one. I love that. I put the meat in there. I just want to thaw it out. In a plastic wrapper. In a coffin. And the plastic leaches in. Oh, God. How about it? Come on. How many times have you put plastic wrap around something and put it in the microwave and cooked it? Warmed it up? Well, not you. You guys are marks. You're in here. You know what you're doing. I understand that. Well, you're going to still use it after today?
Well, I'm going to try that weed thing that you're talking about. You can bet on that.
All right. I want to see this weed thing.
We're going to put boiled water in what?
Don't kill your plants, though.
Dandelions in the front yard, man. They'll love that.
They will. Okay, I'm going to just talk real quick about water. I'm not a big proponent of that whole drink, 1,000 bottles of water a day thing. That's the bottled water industry telling you to do that. You need water. You need good, clean water. You need not tap water. You need pure spring water, filtered water, something. But you do need water every day. You need to hydrate. Just don't overdo it with the water because I can remember the days when people didn't walk. Everyone wasn't out there walking around with a water bottle, plastic water bottle. You leave it in your car and it gets hot. And again, there you go. You're ingesting the plastics and the toxins, and it's just a mess. pure water, not tap water. And if you do get a filter for your tap water, make sure that you wash your food with the filter. Make sure that you make your ice cubes with the filter, okay? Little things you forget. And you have to supplement. There's just no two ways about it. We talked last hour about the core 4. Here they are again. A good multivitamin mineral, a good omega-3, antioxidants, preferably CoQ10, probiotics and enzymes, and vitamin D3. It's actually the Fantastic 5 now. It's not the core 4 anymore because of the D3 deficiency in this country. Okay, does anybody argue with those? Good. You never should argue with the guy with the microphone anyway. You know, I coined this phrase, the Four Horsemen of the Nutrition Apocalypse, about 15 years ago. And it's finally starting to become mainstream. We know how bad hydrogenated oils are. If it says a hydrogenated soybean oil, then you're really signing your death certificate. Okay? Don't ingest it. You know what it is? Liquid plastic. And I heard somebody talking back here about something. Was it you? You said, yes, it was. Don't shake your head. It was okay. It was something good. I thought you said something about the animals wouldn't even eat it. Was that margarine you were talking about? Soy sauce. Okay. Well, margarine, you want to try some fun with your weed killing? You know, while you're waiting for the weeds to die, here's what you do. You get a stick of margarine, you get a stick of butter, you put it in your garage. I'll take it out of the wrapper. See what happens. Okay? See what happens. You know what will happen? Some animal will get in there and eat the butter. Little by little. That stick of margarine will not get touched. It'll stay there forever as long as you leave it there. There's not a single animal or insect, dumb insect, in this country that will eat that margarine. And you know what else? It'll never change. Never. And the American Heart Association told us in the year 2000 that if we converted everything to vegetable oils and margarines, eliminated fat, and took our statins, we'd eradicate heart disease by the year. No, I'm sorry, they said it in 1984. They said we would eradicate it by the year 2000. It's 2015 and it's still the #1 killer. Stay away from the Four Horsemen. Hydrogenated oils, high fructose corn syrup, and any artificial sweetener. Anything that has the word artificial in front of it, why would you put it in your mouth?
I agree with you.
But we do, don't we? Well, this little bit won't hurt. And this little bit won't hurt. Those little bits add up. Artificial anything? No. White.
Will a horse eat artificial sugars?
No. White death. You know what that is? You know who coined that phrase? The Governator. The Governator was the first one, Arnold, to coin the phrase white death. Bleach on a plate. That's white refined flour and white refined sugar. White death. It will kill you. And this sodas isn't an ingredient. It's an actual finished product. But it is absolutely killing us. Is it the sugar? Yeah. Is it the artificial sweetener? Yeah. But it's also the carbonic and phosphoric acids that are put into these sodas that have to be transported to the factory in a truck with a hazardous material sign on it. So, Diet Coke. The drink of choice. Yeah. Right? Celebrities that sell out for that stuff. Okay, that's nourishment. Habit number 2 is exercise. Look, exercise sometimes scares people. You don't have to be, a gym rat. All you got to do is move your body. Because we don't move anymore. I just heard a phrase the other day that said, sitting is the new smoking. That's how detrimental it has become to our health. We sit constantly. Constantly. Now look, she's getting up. Are you feeling bad about that? Oh, okay. Okay. But all you got to do is make small changes. You know, all you got to do is make small changes. Walk a little further. Don't always look for the closest parking space, because we all do. Get that one right up by the door, right? I can tell who's guilty because they always laugh. They always laugh when they're guilty of one of these things. My favorite are the down escalators. In my opinion, the laziest thing there is to stand on a down escalator, waiting for it to take you down. Da-da-dee. You could at least walk down the down escalator, help it out a little bit. You can walk up the escalators. That's what I do.
Walk up the down escalator.
Oh, that's a real workout. And I got to tell you, as you get older, resistance is far more important than cardio, exercise-wise. You can walk. Walking's great. Running is unnecessary. So any runners in here? If you're going to run, there's only one way to do it. Short distance, high speed, stop. Rest. Short distance, high speed again, stop. Rest. Sprinting is far healthier than running for an hour on the treadmill. Because you shouldn't have to run an hour for anything. Do you know the guy that they named the marathon after? The guy that ran from Marathon, or from Athens, Greece to Marathon to warn them of the impending invasion, the 26.2 miles. He died when he got there. That's a fact. That's a historical fact. Marathons are crazy. People that run them are crazy. The wear and tear on your body is terrible. And I got to tell you that the science is now proving that long-distance cardio is actually detrimental. It actually shrinks the heart and the lung capacity. You want to build your heart, you want to build your lung capacity. It's short bursts of intense exercise, and then stop. Okay? But resistance is more important. Build your muscles, any kind of resistance. Okay? Anything you can do, carry, lift, anything. But it's important because it not only helps your heart, it helps your metabolism, but it helps your bones as well. Okay, so resistance is far more important. And there's not a single person in here that cannot do a push-up. You doubt me? Two, good.
Can you tell me, I get a muscle that only comes down to about this far, and this is kind of weak. So I've had some surgery anyways, I broke my arm back.
You need to strengthen your wrists?
I've done
Mm-hmm.
the weights.
Well, yeah, but that's not necessarily the right motion for it as well. You want to, the right, if you can do, okay, when I said anybody in here can do a push-up, I was being a little bit not fair, because I didn't mean on the floor. I mean against the wall. Okay, you could do anybody could do wall push-ups. Okay, that's good. That's good, because you can build from that. You can get lower and lower and lower. But try for your wrists, when you're doing them, do them on your knuckles, on a fist like this. But don't do it a lot of resistance. Just do a little bit. And that will build that even more. Okay? Try that. Sleep. Number 3. If you're not getting 6 to 8 hours a night of sleep, good solid sleep, then your health is going to suffer. She's getting part of hers right now. I don't usually put people to sleep when I talk. I mean, oh, okay. All right. Was it fun? Oh. Okay. The only time I stay awake all night is if it's fun. Okay, 6 to 8 hours. Why? There's something called human growth hormone. You know what that is? Come on, you know what human growth hormone is, right? You need it. You can't live without it. But it's really human repair hormone. Your body repairs itself and makes growth hormone when you sleep. It repairs your muscles. It repairs your organs. It regenerates your cells. All of these things are done when you sleep. Okay? So sleep is very, very, very important. They say as you get older, you don't need as much. That's a bunch of bull. You need it just as much, if not more. Good, solid sleep. Your body grows, repairs, regenerates. Weight loss is affected by lack of sleep, and mood is affected by lack of sleep. Okay? Hormone production, all goes at night while you sleep. You make growth hormone, you make testosterone, you make all of the good hormones while you're sleeping. Number 4 in the Magnificent 7 is to detoxify regularly. We have to. You have to. I have to. Everybody has to detoxify on a regular basis because of the world that we live in. We don't live in nature. We live in cities. We live in industrial cities, industrial nations. We must detoxify because there's environmental toxins all over the place. Nobody in here follows every one of those nutrition laws that I went over. So you're eating chemicals. You know you are. We all do sometimes. So you have to detoxify. The metals that are in your body need to come out. And there's a natural chelating way to get those metals out of your body. And it's simple, it's easy, and it tastes good. It's called lean greens. It has the best chelating agent, natural chelator, and chelating means comes from a Greek word that means to claw. So it's scraping these toxins out of your cells and out of your arteries and eliminating them out of your body. But the most natural, most effective chelator that we've ever had is spirulina and chlorella. And they're in the greens. They've been around for millions and maybe billions of years. Spirulina is a superfood. They give it to the astronauts. It's the oldest food on the planet. And it will chelate the metals out of your body. Simple and easy. Number 5. Did I tell you that the subtitle of this, How to Live Till You Die, was to look good, feel good, and have great sex? Did I say that? Yeah. Okay, just wanted to make sure I got that out there. Do you know anybody that smokes? It's starting to, well, it's not as low as you might think. I didn't ask anybody here if they smoked. I won't ask you to admit that if you do. But if you know somebody, they must quit now. Nothing, absolutely nothing is more detrimental. Nothing. One drag of a cigarette, one drag generates 1 trillion free radicals in your body. 1. Free radical-induced oxidation, one of the major causes of aging. It's the destruction of every cell in your body. Okay? No, we're going to ask me about the vapor ones.
They said that those are really increasing smoking. They said they're not doing what they used to.
Well, they're not going to make you quit. No. They're just a replacement for being in a place where they don't allow smoking. Most people don't quit using those vapors. They just use them when they can't legally have a cigarette somewhere. They still smoke. So no, they're not going to stop. They're not going to decrease the rate of smoking in this country. The negative effects of smoking just one cigarette takes 7.5 years to get out of your system. You got to spare 7.5 years for a pack of cigarettes? How much is a pack of cigarettes these days?
Too much.
Who knows? Anybody? Nobody wants to admit because then I think they'll smoke.
Probably equals the cost of a carton of cigarettes in what year?
Yeah, maybe.
About $7.
$7 a pack.
Whoa.
$7 for a pack of cigarettes, $4 or $5 for a dozen organic eggs. I don't know. That reminds me of that movie, My Cousin Vinny. Remember that movie? He goes, oh, let me see. Collect $200 or get my butt kicked? Which one? I don't know. It's a tough decision. Haven't had a good butt kicking lately. I'll go with the 200. Go with the dozen eggs.
Haven't had a good cigarette lately.
Sugar is the enemy, folks, not fat. Remember that. Fat is not the enemy. Good fat. Real fat. Not manufactured fat. Not trans fats. Okay? Saturated fat is fine if it comes directly from an animal source. Butter is one of the best fats there is, especially if it's grass-fed. The oils are good fats. Okay? Fat is not your enemy. Sugar is your enemy. In the last 30 years, we've eliminated fat, increased high sugar diets because all grains are sugar. Okay, and we produced an obese, diabetic, testosterone-depleted, Lipitor-dependent population. That's who we've become because of sugar and the bad rap that fat has had. Alcohol in moderation is fine. It's okay. 1 to 2 a day, not bottles, glasses of wine. Okay, it's okay. Red wine's the best. Organic red is even better. I'll tell you why. You've heard of resveratrol, right? Resveratrol is most abundant. It comes in all kinds of fruits and vegetables, but it's most abundant in the skin of the grape. That's where you'll find the most concentration of resveratrol, which extends the life of your cells. Okay? In fact, on Saturday, I'm doing a whole presentation on resveratrol. But it comes from the skin of the grape. So that's why the whole wine thing has been so popular for non-Italians. Because for us, it was on the dinner table when we were this big. But the reason is resveratrol is activated in the skin of the grape when the grape is allowed to stress, because that's when it kicks in to its preservation mode. Okay? But commercial wine is made from grapes that are not organic. They are sprayed and not allowed to stress, so they have very little resveratrol. But if you're in Italy or if you're in France and you're getting wine that's been made in that country, it's probably going to have a lot more resveratrol and no sulfites. Organic wine, however, organic wine that's made from organic grapes has 500 times the amount of resveratrol that commercial wine does. Because the grapes are allowed to stress, the resveratrol kicks in, and it transfers to the wine when they crush the grapes. So if you're going to drink wine, red organic wine is absolutely by far the king. Okay? Did they bring down a copy of this presentation? Could somebody call upstairs for a copy, please? Number 6, 7 habits that will help you to live till you die, the power of prayer. Now, I don't care who you pray to. Just pray, okay? It's so powerful. Faith is powerful. Power of prayer. I love some of these quotes. A belief is a thought you just keep thinking. Think about that. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. That's how you develop beliefs. I love this one. See if you can tell me where this came from. Faith can move mountains, but it can't beat a faster draw.
Magnificent Seven.
Ha! Good guess, but no. Good guess. But it's from a Western. It's a John Wayne movie. It's from El Dorado. Okay, good, very good. The law of attraction and the law of radiation and attraction. Have you heard about the law of attraction? It's become very popular lately. Well, it's not new. It was in the Bible. Okay? Proverb 23:7. Man thinketh, so shall he be. Be impeccable with your word. This is from the Four Agreements. There's a book called the Four Agreements. And it's a small, easy to read book, but I implore you to get it. Read it. Live by it. It's 4 agreements you make with yourself. And the number 1 agreement is to be impeccable with your word. And it doesn't mean that you just tell the truth. Because the word impeccable, do you know where the root of that word comes from? It means without sin. That's the literal translation of that word from the original Latin, impeccable, without sin. So your word is powerful. Words that come out of your mouth. Your thoughts are powerful, but your words are powerful. That means use them wisely. Use them for good, not for bad. How many times have you caught yourself saying something about somebody and you think, man, I probably really shouldn't have said that? Your words are powerful, okay? It goes right along with this 6th rule, the power of prayer. Be impeccable with your word. And number 7, you got to laugh. You know, you want to live till you die, you got to laugh. Come on, you got to enjoy life. You got to laugh. You got to learn to laugh. That's a quote from the Archangel Michael. Well, it was actually from the movie Michael with John Travolta. but he played an archangel. Gotcha. All you need is love, the Beatles. And if you have to have somebody explain to you what unconditional love is, ask your pet. They'll tell you. Or, as I've learned recently, since I wrote this, ask your grandchild. You know, play with your grandchildren, hug your grandchildren. You'll see unconditional love in ways you don't even remember since you were that age. But loving, laughing, these are the keys to life, folks. The Magnificent Seven, this is probably one of the most important because you have a choice, always have a choice. Learn to laugh. They're going to bring down copies of this. So if you want to stick around a little bit, I'm sure they'll have them run off in a matter of minutes, and they'll bring it down so you can take one of these home with you. Okay, any questions?
The greens.
Yes.
You see some breads out on the market called sprouted grain.
Sprouted grain is absolutely different and better. Yes. Ezekiel is the most common bread that has sprouted live grains. These are grains that were not adulterated at all. They're in their original source. It's not flour.
They say when the sprout comes up,
Mm-hmm.
and just before it shoots up that shoot to put the grain at the top, all the nutrition is in that.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. It's once it's machined, everything comes out of it. That's why you see enriched flours all the time, enriched whole wheat flours all the time, because the manufacturing process strips them, they have to put them back in. But live sprouted grain is absolutely the best bread you could possibly eat.
It has all the nutrition.
That's correct. Yes.
And wheat is not really good for you, is it?
No.
Neither is barley.
No. They're all grains that have been overused, genetically modified. And the problem with wheat, I mean, the gluten problem we have in this country right now, I don't believe is really a gluten problem. I believe it's a wheat problem. I believe it's because of the chemicals that are sprayed on the wheat that have destroyed our ability to absorb, digest it, and utilize it. They spray glyphosate on these wheat products. They spray them the whole time, but right before they're harvested, they give them one last strong dose of this crap to ignite a growth spurt, and that's what's killing us. Because I'll tell you what, if you get wheat that is grown in Europe, people even that have gluten sensitivities can usually eat it. You know, buy your pasta that's imported from Italy. Don't buy it made here. Okay, if you're gonna eat it. But it's just, and I do, but I buy imported. I don't trust the wheat in this country at all. Absolutely not. Unless it's 100% certified organic. It's not sprayed. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
You mentioned products from soy.
Yes.
What about tofu and things like that?
Yeah, tofu, again, is like soybeans, like edamame. Okay, in moderation, it's okay. But the problem is, if you eat tofu a lot and still eat all the other products that are made with soybean oil, you're getting an overabundance of soy. So if that's all you ever eat, it's okay. It's the other things that are bad. Any other questions? You're going to come back in 2 months and report to us about your weeds.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much.